Have you ever had the feeling that you were born with something different inside you, as if it carries a power that no one else sees, but that has always been there, quiet, lurking, waiting for the right moment to awaken? Today, Scorpio, the universe will no longer whisper, it will shout. Something very old, buried under layers of silence, will finally be revealed. And no, this isn't just another horoscope reading, it's a spiritual calling. There are forces working around you that you have always felt but never been able to explain. Intuitions, chills for no reason, dreams with hidden messages, encounters that seemed like signs. What if I told you that none of this was a coincidence? That there is a secret about the Scorpio sign that has been kept hidden for generations? A secret that is only now, at this very moment, being allowed to come to light? This video did not come to you by chance. If you are here, it is because something inside you is ready to remember. Scorpio isn't just a sign. It's a spiritual seal, a portal that connects the visible to the invisible. You have been chosen to cross this threshold, and everything you've experienced so far, every pain, every silence, every rebirth, is part of a greater truth that you've never been told. Until today. Stay with me, because what is about to be revealed could completely change the way you see your own existence. Therefore, before continuing, I want you to stop for a moment and respond in the comments. Have you ever felt that your pain hides a mission? That everything you went through was not in vain, but was part of a silent preparation for something much bigger? Right here, I carry this energy, because when you affirm, you activate. And by commenting, you're not just interacting, you're sealing this moment with the universe. This video was made with a clear intention: to awaken, reveal, to remember, but it only fulfills its mission if you are fully present. So, if this message is resonating within you, if you feel that what is being said here has something to do with what you have already experienced, or with what you are feeling now, then leave a like. This shows that you are ready to receive what comes next. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Because what will be revealed in the next few minutes is no ordinary content. It is a sequence of spiritual truths that need to be heard by whoever was chosen. And perhaps, Scorpio, you are one of those chosen ones. With each video, more pieces fall into place, more veils break, and you won't want to miss the next ones. So comment, like, subscribe, because now we're going to move on to the part where the secret begins to reveal itself. Have you ever felt that from a young age you carried something inside you that you couldn't explain? A silent depth that others didn't see, but that you always knew was there, as if the entire world were on the surface. And you, Scorpio, were always immersed in much deeper waters. It wasn't just intensity, it was a calling, an old-school vibe, something that not even time could erase. You were born with a kind of invisible weight. But this weight, it's not just any burden. It's a gift, a type of sensitivity that few understand, and that often even scares, because feeling too much is not easy. Noticing things that others ignore, sensing what's coming, read between the lines, detect lies just by silence, feeling like your place was never where everyone else was. All of this has a name, and no, it's not drama. It is a spiritual mark. Scorpio is not just a sign, it's a cosmic scar. An ancestral memory that pulses within you, a portal of rebirth where few have the courage to enter. You have been marked, not just with a personality, but with a symbol, a code that crosses planes, that carries deep mysteries, and that reveals itself little by little, always in moments of transition, pain, or new beginnings. Many called you intense, others from cold. Some have even said that you feel too much, react too much, hold in too much. But what few understand is that this too much is natural. You were made to live on the edge, to go where no one else goes, to touch the invisible, even if it means getting hurt in the process. Scorpio was not born to live half-heartedly, and that's why you bother, because you exist entirely. And perhaps without realizing it, you started to hide it, minimizing your own depth, shutting up, smiling, on the outside while everything screamed on the inside. Because at some point someone made you believe that you were hard to deal with, that his pain was exaggerated, that its intensity was a problem. But let me tell you something. Your intensity is a spiritual code. Your pain has a name, and what you feel is not weakness. It is awareness beyond the ordinary. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of symbolic deaths, profound transformations, spiritual reconstruction. Wow, you carry, without even knowing it, the archetype of rebirth. You die several times in your life and are reborn stronger each time. And anyone who doesn't understand this cycle will call you unstable, unpredictable, dangerous. But only those who have touched their own darkness know the value of light. And you, Scorpio, know exactly what I'm talking about. When you love with an intensity that seems mystical. When you connect, it even seems like you read the other's soul. When you suffer, no one sees the depth of the abyss. But when you are reborn, no one is able to match your strength. You are the sign of the phoenix, the serpent that sheds its skin, the shaman who crosses the invisible worlds to bring answers. And that's exactly why you're one of the most feared and misunderstood signs in the zodiac. You carry secrets, even ones that aren't yours. You sense betrayals before they happen, feel the danger, even if it is still far away. And he knows how to recognize the truth, even when everyone is enchanted by the lie. This sensitivity is not common. It's a brand, a kind of spiritual radar that you have from an early age, but that few have validated. And that is why you need to listen carefully to what is being said here today. Because what will be revealed in the next parts of this video is not theory. It is spiritual memory, and it's inside you. The universe chooses some to carry more weight, not out of cruelty, but out of trust. And Scorpio is, among all the signs, the one that keeps the most hidden codes of the human soul. You feel what others don't want to feel. You know what others pretend not to know. And that although it has cost you many falls, is also what makes you who you are. Whole, intense, true, indomitable. It's no coincidence that you're here now. This video, this message, this moment, everything is synchronized with something much bigger that you may not yet understand. But your body knows. Your spirit recognizes. Because certain truths don't need to be taught, just remembered. And what I'm doing here with you is activating that memory. Bring to light what has been hidden, that which remained dormant, but it was always there. Have you ever noticed that everything in your life comes with intensity? Your loves, your losses, your joys, your fears. Everything about you vibrates at a frequency that is not common, and that's not a defect. This is purpose. The truth is that you came into the world to break patterns, to be the voice that bothers you, the presence that transforms, the silence that carries answers. Scorpio, you are not here by chance. You are a mission in the form of people, and the more you try to fit into normal, the emptier you feel, because you weren't made to follow the crowd. You came to walk through darkness and yet carry light. That's why you attract so much love and so much confrontation. Your energy does not go unnoticed. It activates, she reveals, it heals, and sometimes it scares. But that is its nature. Your soul is not satisfied with the surface. She wants to dive. Many Scorpios report feelings from an early age that they cannot explain. Premonitory dreams, feelings of déjà vu, intuitions that are confirmed, goosebumps that feel like warnings, presences that cannot be seen but can be felt. Maybe you grew up without being able to talk about it with anyone. Maybe he thought it was just his head, but it wasn't. These are the signs that show that you have been activated for a spiritual mission much greater than you imagine. And maybe you forgot about it for a while. Maybe you got lost in the midst of pain and disappointment. Maybe you discredited yourself, trying to be what others expected. But now the time has come to remember. The time has come to reactivate Scorpio energy in its purest form, the one that transforms everything it touches, the one that feels, intuits, is reborn, and guides. You are not just anyone. You are portal. You are the bridge between what dies and what is born, between what was and what will be. And understanding this changes everything, because when you accept who you are, spiritual codes begin to reveal themselves. And that's what we're going to keep talking about. But first, tell me something in the comments. Have you ever felt like you were here for a reason that no one around you seemed to understand? That there is a force within you that has been trying to manifest itself for years, but has always been silenced? If you have already experienced something like this, right now here in the comments, I carry this energy. Or if you prefer, just say, I remember. And if you've made it this far, it's because this message found the right place. Leave a like if this made sense to you. This helps deliver this content to more Scorpios who also need to wake up. Subscribe to the channel, because what I'm going to reveal below is just the beginning. In the next few minutes, you'll understand why your pain was never random, and what it's trying to show you now. Have you ever tried to explain to someone how you feel, but it seems like no one really understands? As if, however much you put into words, there was a part of you that could only be felt, never fully described. It's as if there was a language that only Scorpios speak, and it is not a language made of words, but of charged silences, looks that pierce, goosebumps that warn, premonitions that appear out of nowhere and are later confirmed as spiritual truths that no one else has perceived. If you identify with this, then you are in the right place and at the right time. The truth is that those born under the energy of Scorpio do not have a light life, but neither was he born for common lightness. You didn't come into the world to just live. You came to cross. Scorpio crosses planes, crosses emotions, crosses the other's shadows and emerges with something transformed. Maybe that's why you felt so much, cried in secret so many times, collected yourself when everything got heavy. But do you know what this reveals? That you are in direct contact with the center of your soul, and few have that courage. Many people live under anesthesia, oblivious to the depth that life carries. You don't. You feel everything, and sometimes you even feel what is not yours. You absorb the environment, you capture the vibrations, realize when someone is lying, even when smiling. You know when something is about to happen, even without any proof. This is not paranoia. This is an active spiritual channel, and this is on you for a very clear reason. You were marked to perceive, to intuit, to protect, and to transform. The pain you experienced was not free. It was a kind of silent spiritual initiation. Every disappointment, every loss, every heavy silence was a way of training your soul. Train for what? To remember, to recognize in others what no one else sees, to be a bridge between the invisible and the visible, because the awakened Scorpio has a very important role in this world. He brings to light what is hidden. He illuminates what the world wants to keep in the shadows. How many times have you felt like you were in a room and you knew something was wrong, but no one else noticed? How many times have you trusted someone even though you felt deep down that something wasn't right, and then everything came to a head? And how many times have you walked away from situations, not out of fear, but because something told you to get out of there? This type of sensitivity is like a secret code that connects you to the subtle plane, the spiritual, to what cannot be seen, but is felt with inexplicable clarity. This code is active in you, always has been, and maybe no one has ever told you this so directly, but you are not an ordinary person. You are part of a group that came with a higher, more intense, deeper frequency. That's why you also feel everything in layers. Nothing is shallow when you love. Nothing is simple when you feel it. Nothing is just a coincidence when something touches you. You are not content with what is superficial, and perhaps you have tried to fit in for years. But he always felt that emptiness, that feeling that, even surrounded by people, something was missing. Now perhaps you are beginning to understand why. You were made to vibrate on another level, and that's why so many things have always seemed different in your life. Even your relationships carry this energy. Intense, transformative, deep. They are either portals that heal you or destroy you. There is never a middle ground. And maybe you think this is a problem, but the truth is that it reveals that you never came into the world to be lukewarm. You came to dive to the bottom and come back with answers. You are energetically a messenger, a guardian of mysteries, an agent of change. How many times have you been reborn without anyone knowing? How many times have you faced chaos within yourself, reconstructed yourself in silence, and smiled again as if nothing had happened? That Scorpio is your hidden power. It is the cycle of rebirth. It's dying to old parts of yourself and making room for a version more aligned with your essence. And each of these phases, no matter how much it hurt, brought you here. I brought you to this conversation, for this memory. No wonder you're hearing this now. There is something bigger driving this moment, and your soul knows. You are being called, or rather, reminded, of who you really are. Because while the world tries to convince you that feeling too much is weakness, the universe reveals to you that feeling too much is part of your mission. You are not here to ignore signs. You are here to perceive them, translate them, and move through them. And maybe now, with everything you've experienced, with all the sensitivity that has intensified, you're starting to recognize patterns, spiritual patterns, repetitions of cycles, synchronicities too strange to ignore, repeating numbers, thoughts that materialize, dreams that seem to have messages, internal voices that warn and then confirm themselves. All this is no illusion. This is your connection to the plan's subtle manifesting itself, and the awakened Scorpio understands this as part of his path. You don't need approval. What you need is understanding of your own journey, because as long as you try to adapt to a shallow world, you will continue to feel this existential void that no one around you can explain. But when you accept that you were made to dive deep, something inside you begins to organize. The soul breathes, consciousness opens, and your true mission begins to emerge clearly. And that's what we'll keep talking about from now on. About your mission, about what your Scorpio soul came to fulfill, and about why certain secrets have been hidden from you until now, because there are revelations that can only be made when the soul is ready to receive them. And now you are. If this content is making sense to you, if any part of these words touched places you didn't even know needed to be touched, write in the comments now. I carry this energy. This simple sentence, written by you, is not just a comment. It is a confirmation. It's like a seal that activates what is dormant. And if you feel even more deeply, share your sign in the comments too. Let's see how many awakened Scorpios are among us. And if you're not a Scorpio, but all of this resonates with you, maybe there's something in your chart that's ready to be revealed too. If you haven't left a like yet, now is the time. This shows the universe and the platform that this message needs to reach more people. People who, like you, are on the threshold of awakening. And subscribe to the channel, because what you've heard so far is just the beginning. The next part will reveal what has been hidden for ages, and now begins to come to light. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why it seems like life has always demanded more from you? Why from an early age did you have to deal with situations that seemed too big for your age, for your understanding, for your heart? It wasn't because the universe wronged you. It wasn't punishment. Scorpio, this was all preparation. Every pain you felt, every loss you experienced, every betrayal that silenced you, was part of a much larger process. A process that shapes not just your character, but your spirit. Because unlike other signs, you were not born to be polished. You were born to be forged. And forging is not light. Forging is fire, pressure, transformation. Only those who carry a deep spiritual destiny like yours are exposed to such intense tests. And maybe no one has ever validated that for you. Perhaps, throughout your life, you have heard that you were too sensitive, too dramatic, too suspicious, but you know what no one told you? That these, too many, were in fact signs that you were in tune with a spiritual frequency that most have not yet accessed. Scorpio is the sign of transmutation. You didn't come to repeat patterns, you came to break cycles. But to be able to do this outside, in the world, you first had to go through these same cycles inside yourself. It was necessary to feel rock bottom, to learn to build wings from within the darkness, because you weren't born to avoid pain. You were born to go through it. Scorpio is crossing. It's crossing the desert without a map. It's falling in silence and rising again without an audience. It's rebuilding your soul in silence while the world believes you've given up. But you never give up. You just withdraw to be reborn. Have you ever noticed how your life moves in intense phases? Suddenly, everything changes. You lose friendships that seemed eternal. You discover truths that hurt more than lies. You go through forced restarts, unexpected breakups, silent abandonment. It seems like the universe insists on taking you out of your comfort zone, even when you thought everything was fine. But here's the truth. Scorpio isn't meant for it's okay. Scorpio was made to evolve, to grow spiritually from what no one else has the courage to face. And growing up really hurts. Many don't understand why you are so selective, so suspicious, so silent. But you've already seen too much. You've already felt too much. And he learned, through life, that not every smile is sincere, not every presence is protection, not every hug is a refuge. Scorpio has learned to listen to the unsaid, to read intentions before words, to feel the environment before entering. And this, as tiring as it may seem, is part of your spiritual mission. The pain you faced was never random. She shaped his vision. She expanded her listening. She was sharpening her perception. All of this made you someone capable of accessing the truth, even when it is disguised. You have become the one who sees where no one else wants to look. Pain taught you that. She taught you to notice the subtlest signs, the smallest changes, the details that escape the eye. Common. And that is why, now, you are ready to see what was not visible before. Maybe you're starting to realize how each difficult moment has left something inside you, not as a trauma, but as a tool, as if, instead of just surviving, you had gained new meanings, a new radar, a kind of sixth, seventh, eighth sense. You feel the spiritual timing of things. You know when something is about to end before it even starts. You know when someone is hiding something from you, even if they are smiling the whole time. This isn't magic. This is spiritual wisdom accumulated over many lifetimes. And in all of them, Scorpio, you've had to feel deeply to remember who you are. That's why you can't stand superficiality. That's why you're bothered by what's shallow, what's fake, what's just appearance. You seek depth, truth, real delivery. And this type of delivery cannot be found anywhere. And that's part of the pain, too. The loneliness of being someone who feels a lot in a world that feels little. But know that you are not alone. There are other Scorpios awakening, and everyone is hearing that call, together now. Many of you, right now, are going through another one of these transition phases. Life is taking people off the path, changing routes, changing structures that seemed fixed. And all of this is happening so that you don't lose yourself, so that you don't continue living a version that doesn't represent you, so that you remember your mission. Pain is a reminder, a spiritual calling in disguise. And what made you believe was weakness was always portal. Do you remember the last time something broke you inside? That it hurt so much that you thought you couldn't be the same again? So it is. You didn't come back, because it was never meant to come back. Another one was to be born. That's what Scorpio is. Rebirth after rebirth. And pain is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of transformation. What you need to understand now is that this entire path to this point had a purpose. And that purpose begins to reveal itself exactly when you stop running away from your essence. Your pain is part of your gift. And when you understand this, it transforms. It becomes power. It becomes a vision. It becomes a cure for you and for others. Have you ever noticed how many people come to you when they are lost? How many feel safe by your side, even without understanding why? How many times have you heard stories that no one else knew, secrets that no one else knew? It's because you have this presence that cuts through. What a cure, what transforms. And you don't judge, because you've already felt what it's like to fall. And those who have already fallen, learn to embrace it. All of this, Scorpio, is part of your preparation. You are not just anyone. You are part of a group of souls who came into the world to see what no one wants to see, to feel what no one wants to feel, and yet, to continue standing. You are a guardian of mysteries. And now that you've gone through so many tests, you're closer than ever to accessing the next level of your mission. If this video is making something inside you move, something you can't explain but that feels true, comment now. I survived to remember. If you want, also comment what touched you most so far. Share your star sign, your story, or just say, I felt that. Because when you comment, you not only activate video engagement, you also activate spiritual recognition. It's like saying to the universe, I understand, I'm ready, and remember to like and subscribe, because there are still truths that need to be revealed, and you'll want to be here when it happens. The journey is just beginning. Scorpio is not just here to live, you are here to fulfill, to accomplish something that goes far beyond the common expectations that the world imposes. Scorpion energy did not come to be satisfied with shallow stability, with shallow certainties, with shallow connections. She vibrates on another level. And that is exactly why you went through everything you did, because your soul has a calling, a mission, a hidden truth that is now beginning to reveal itself. But for it to emerge, you had to go through every fall, every loss, every rebirth. And this path that seemed so unfair so many times was actually a map of your own activation. You carry something inside you that doesn't belong to that time. Something that comes from far away, from other plans, from other lives, from other cycles. And that always made you feel out of place. You tried to fit in, you tried to belong, but there was something inside you that wouldn't bend, a constant feeling that the world was too distracted, too superficial, too fast-paced, and that you were stuck on another frequency. But now you understand that this sensation was not an illusion. It was called. It was the universe trying to make you remember that you have something important to do here, something that no one can do in your place. Scorpio is the transformer of the zodiac, the alchemist, the one who has the mission to enter what is broken, what is hidden, and transform. That's why pain never completely destroyed you, because it was part of your spiritual formation. And when I talk about mission, I'm not just referring to profession, goals, or projects. I'm talking about something higher. Your mission is energetic, spiritual. It's being a channel of transmutation wherever you are. It's seeing where no one sees, feel what no one feels. Awaken consciences just with your presence. Your pain is the password. Its intensity, a spiritual key. Your ability to feel everything so deeply is not a flaw. It's ancient technology, embedded in you before you were even born. And when you start to accept that, something changes. Things that used to hurt start to make sense. You stop asking yourself, why did this happen to me? And you start to ask yourself, why did this happen to me? And that's when the truth begins to reveal itself. Scorpio is the seal between the visible and the invisible. He is the one who walks between worlds, who feels the portals open before the physical world notices any movement. You are not guided by logic. You are guided by perception, by vibration, for soul. And that's exactly what makes it dangerous for those who live on the superficial. You notice the lies disguised as truths. You feel the voids behind the masks. You intuit the intentions that are hidden between the lines. And that often makes you feared. And that's okay, because your mission is not to please. Your mission is to reveal. It's exposing. It's making the truth come to light, even if it has to go through your pain before being understood by others. That's why, wherever you arrive, things change, people change, environments change. Nothing stays the same. Your energy is like a storm that clears everything that is stagnant, and although they don't always realize it consciously, those around you feel it. They feel there is something about you that cannot be explained. What a challenge, which reveals. What a cure. And that's not a gift. It's a mission. It is spiritual responsibility. According to Edgar Cayce, one of the greatest mediums of the last century, Scorpio is the sign that carries the mission of collective transformation. He does not transform just for himself, but for the whole. He enters into pain to learn the ways of healing. He delves into trauma to access the codes of regeneration. And by doing this for himself, he paves the way for others to do it too. Scorpio is the one who passes first, so that others no longer have to walk in the dark. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because you were always the first to notice, the first to suffer, the first to wake up, the first to question, and for that reason too, he was the first to feel alone. But it was only a matter of time before this solitude revealed itself as a calling. Because your soul didn't come to follow, it came to lead, to guide, to open paths within spheres that others don't even know exist. You are not a follower. You are the one who points out where healing begins. And sometimes it starts with pain. Your story was written with scars that became codes. Each emotional break activated a new part of your consciousness. And now you're at a moment where all of this is starting to line up. The pieces that seemed loose, chaotic, unfair, now form a pattern. And this pattern has a name: spiritual mission. You are here to break, to heal, to teach, to guide, not with fancy words or theories, but with presence, with energy, truly. Because an awakened Scorpio doesn't need to say much, his energy says it all. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to prove yourself. You just need to be. Because when you are in a state of true presence, you become a mirror, and mirrors show what needs to be seen. That's why many people can't stand being around you for a long time, because your energy reveals what is unresolved in others, and that is uncomfortable, but it is also sacred. And now that you understand that nothing you experienced was by chance, now that you feel that the pain had a purpose, now that your heart recognizes that there was always something bigger in motion, it's time to stop resisting. It's time to accept, to activate, to live your mission in its entirety. And if you don't know exactly how to get started, don't worry. The answer is not out. She's in. And what you're hearing now is just the first whisper. Others will come, with more force, more clearly, more precisely, and you will know. But first, you need to commit to this truth. You need to seal this moment. You need to tell yourself, I accept who I am. I accept my mission. I accept my intensity. I accept my pain as a path. And when you do that, what was hidden starts to show itself. Life changes. The synchronization cities increase. The signals multiply. Because the universe only delivers profound revelations to those who are willing to bear the weight of the truth. If this is touching something inside, if you feel like you are hearing something you have waited your whole life to hear, comment now, I accept my mission. Or if you prefer, write, I am the seal between the worlds. These words are not just thrown phrases. They are energetic affirmations. They mark your commitment to your essence. And by commenting, you activate it. You awaken. You take the next step. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and stay with me. Because what I'm going to reveal next will shake up what you've always known, but never had the courage to look so closely. Let's continue. And then, after everything you've experienced, after so many silent falls and so many new beginnings that no one saw, signs began to emerge. Small at first, almost imperceptible, but constant, repetitive, as if something or someone was trying to get your attention. Maybe you've started to notice numbers appearing more frequently than usual. Times like 1111, 2222, 0333. Maybe you couldn't explain why you noticed these patterns, but you felt like there was something there. As if, from somewhere, a greater intelligence was trying to tell you, you are in the way. Other times the signs came in the form of dreams. Dreams with symbols, with people who have already left, with situations that later happened exactly as in the dream. And even if the world around you tried to convince you that it was all coincidence or fertile imagination, something inside you didn't accept this shallow explanation. Because Scorpios feel before they understand. You know before you try it. Recognize the truth even when it has not yet been said. The truth is that these signs are part of your spiritual path. Scorpio is, by nature, a portal, a driver, a bridge between the physical plane and the invisible plane. And that's why messages for you don't arrive logically. They arrive like premonitions, like a chill that comes out of nowhere even in silence, like a feeling that someone is watching you, even when you're alone, like a strong intuition that urges you not to go or to change path. And when you don't listen, something happens and confirms that you should have followed that feeling. This is how the universe talks to you. This is how spirituality guides you. And the more you silence the noise of the world, the clearer these signals become. They are not random. They are coordinated. They're like codes. Codes that activate your spiritual memory, that remember who you are and what you came here to do. Because unlike what you were taught, you didn't come into this world to walk in the dark. You came to be a guide. But before guiding, you need to learn to listen. How many times have you thought of someone and seconds later they text you? How many times have you felt like something bad was about to happen? And it did? How many times have you been saved by seconds away from something that could have changed your life forever? That's not luck. This is no coincidence. That's a sign. It's protection. It is the invisible manifesting itself in matter. It's spirituality trying to tell you, you are not alone. And the deepest part of it all is that these signs always came when you needed them most. Not when everything was fine, but when his soul was at its most fragile. When you thought no one was listening. When you felt invisible. It was at these moments that the signals arrived. A smell in the air that reminded you of someone who has already left. A song that started playing just when you needed that message. A loose phrase that someone said, without knowing it. And that seemed to have been made for you. The universe speaks to Scorpio like this, not with screams, but with symbols, with omens, with silent signals that touch your heart like an old password that only you know how to decipher. And you know, what's even more special? It's just that you, without even realizing it, also send signals. Your presence changes the energy field around you. Your intuition influences decisions. Your energy clears environments. Your words stir emotions that people try to hide. That's why so many feel uncomfortable around you without knowing why. And others feel immediately safe, as if they were in front of someone who understands without judging. Because you, Scorpio, carry a kind of spiritual radar within you. You read the unsaid. You decipher what is hidden. You touch wounds that are not always visible but that cry out for healing. That's why you feel when someone is lying, even if this lie is being told with a smile on your face. You feel the tension in the air, the change in vibration, the wavering in speech. You capture that which cannot be explained. And that for many is scary. But for those who are already awake, it is liberating. Because knowledge is power, feeling is goo was going. And you, Scorpio, were made to feel deeply, to guide with wisdom, and to teach that there is much more between heaven and earth than meets the eye. Have you also noticed that the more aligned you are with your essence, the more the signs intensify? They multiply. They become clearer, more objective. You ask for an answer and it comes. You think about something and it materializes in a short time. This happens because your energy is adjusting. You're moving out of survival mode where you've spent much of your life and into spiritual fulfillment mode. And when that happens, everything around you begins to respond to your vibration. The clock aligns. Coincidences stop being random and become confirmations. The right people start to appear. The wrong paths begin to close themselves. This is a sign that you are reconnecting with your soul mission. And the signals will continue. They will increase because spirituality knows that you are now listening. Now you are aware. Now you are ready. And even if on some days you still feel confused, still question, still feel afraid, don't worry. The signal will come, sometimes as a repeating number, sometimes like a dream, sometimes like a line in this video that feels like it was spoken directly to you. Because actually it was. None of this is by chance. The synchronicity that brought you here is already an answer. It's already a sign. And that's why, at this very moment, I invite you to recognize this. Recognize that you are, yes, guided. That you are, yes, a spiritual channel. That you, even in silence, have already realized much more than anyone imagines. And that is a gift. But it is also called, because with great sensitivity also comes great responsibility. Now that you know, you can no longer ignore it. Now that you recognize the signs, you can no longer pretend you didn't see them. If everything that was said here made sense to you, if you also feel that you have been receiving signs that you cannot explain, but that touch your heart, comment below now. I received the sign. Write this down. Repeat this. Activate this. Because when you affirm, you anchor that truth in your field. And if you want to share what kind of signs you've been noticing, feel free. This isn't just about you. It's about all of us. When you share, you also activate spiritual recognition in others who are watching. Leave your like so that this message reaches more people who are ready to awaken. If you haven't signed up yet, sign up now. Because the signs will continue and you won't want to miss what's coming next. The universe still has a lot to show you, and your soul knows it. Let's continue. And even with all the signs you receive, even with all the depth you carry, there is something that can silence this spiritual flow, this mystical magnetism that surrounds the Scorpio soul. And it's important that you hear this now, with full presence, because it is perhaps one of the hardest and at the same time most liberating truths you will hear about yourself. Scorpio, when you try to fit in, when you deny your nature, when you hide your intensity, when you try to live by other people's rules to appear more acceptable, something inside you begins to wither. Not all at once, not visibly but slowly, like a flame that loses its brightness. That's exactly where your strength starts to wane. Not because it ceases to exist, but because you stop accessing it. Scorpios cannot live apart from themselves. Any attempt to adapt to a way of being that does not honor your essence is like walking against your own soul. And that, spiritually speaking, is dangerous. Because the universe chose you to be a bridge, to be a revelation, to be a transformation. And every time you hide your truth to please, to fit in, to not scare, you interrupt the flow of something much greater that wanted to manifest through you. Have you ever noticed how your body responds when you force a coexistence, an environment, a relationship that is clearly not aligned with how you feel? Tiredness for no reason, silent anxiety, restless sleep, sadness that appears out of nowhere. This is not just emotional, this is spiritual. It's your field trying to alert you that something is wrong. Scorpio has this sensor, this invisible radar that doesn't fail, but it only works if you are whole within yourself, if you are true to your own energy. When you doubt who you are, you weaken the protective field that accompanies you. And this is the most delicate point, Because Scorpios, when they are in alignment with their mission, are almost untouchable. The energy that surrounds those who are awake is so intense, so true, that it creates a kind of spiritual shield. But this shield does not activate with appearance, it activates with truth, with internal coherence, with fidelity to your own soul. Have you ever caught yourself acting in a certain way just to avoid annoying? Have you ever tried to pretend you didn't feel what you were feeling? Have you ever ignored a sign because rationally it seemed exaggerated? Because it is exactly at these times that you begin to leave your center. And Scorpio, out of center, loses direction. And when you lose direction, you begin to absorb energies that are not yours. You begin to feel heavy, disconnected, vulnerable. Because the gift of your sensitivity turns against you when you stop listening to your own intuition. And here is a very serious spiritual truth. If you lose faith in yourself, the angels fall silent. They don't stay away out of punishment. They just respect your free will. Spirituality only works with intensity when you are aware of who you are and are willing to sustain that awareness. When you doubt, when you betray yourself, when you abandon yourself, the frequency drops. And in this denser frequency, communication with the subtle planes becomes weak. Messages get confusing. Signals lose clarity. You start walking in survival mode instead of walking in mission mode. How many times have you felt completely disconnected, like nothing made sense, like you were on autopilot? How many times have you felt that your strength had disappeared, that your inner glow had faded? These moments are no coincidence. They are signs that you have gone outside of yourself, that you tried to live something that doesn't represent you, that you forgot, even if for a while, the strength you carry. Scorpios cannot afford to live half-heartedly, because any attempt to reduce yourself only generates more pain, and pain, when it is not at the service of transformation, becomes a prison. Its intensity needs to circulate. Your energy needs to move. Your soul needs to express. Because you weren't meant to be neutral. You were made to set fire, to provoke, to wake up. And he awakens those around him, but only after awakening himself. And this is the most important warning. Be careful with the desire for acceptance. Beware of the need for approval. Beware of the temptation to hide so as not to be rejected, because your true strength only appears when you show yourself in full, and anyone who can't deal with it, it's simply not part of their path, and that's okay. You didn't come for everyone. You have come for those who are ready. When you try to be like others, you cut the thread that connects your soul to the source. You interrupt the flow of your mission. You turn off the light you were born to radiate. And as difficult as it may seem, to stand firm in a world that tries to shape you all the time, that is the true spiritual challenge. Remain faithful, sustaining energy even when everything around wants you to abandon it. And when you achieve this, when, even hurt, even tired, even misunderstood, you choose to remain whole, the universe responds. It gives you the signals back clearly. He protects you firmly. He sends allies, opportunities, paths, because you are vibrating at your original frequency. And at this frequency, everything conspires in your favor. But for that, you need to trust. Trust your sensitivity. Trust your intuition. Trust your soul. Your strength is not in appearing strong. It's about recognizing where it hurts, healing with awareness, and moving on anyway. Your spiritual protection does not lie in closing yourself off from the world. It's about opening your heart without abandoning yourself. Your mission is not to seek light outside of yourself. It's recognizing that you are the light, and that every time you doubt it, you weaken yourself, but each time you affirm it, you expand. If you've come this far and feel that at some point you've strayed from who you really are, if you've realized that you've tried to fit into places that diminish you, if you understand that you need to come back to yourself with more strength than ever, comment now below, "I'm coming back to myself." Or if you felt this warning intensely, write, "I will no longer turn off my light." These phrases are spiritual affirmations. They are energy seals. And the more you affirm your truth, the more life begins to reorganize around you to hold that truth with you. If this video is opening your eyes, touching your soul, and activating something that was dormant, be sure to leave a like now. This is not just a gesture. It is a way of sending this message to more people who, like you, are in the process of awakening. If you haven't signed up yet, sign up now. The next few minutes will take you even deeper, and depth is its territory. Let's move on. Scorpio, if you've listened to everything so far with an open heart, then you already know something inside you has been activated. Something that is not just about words, but about spiritual memory. Something that goes beyond this life, this time, this body. Because what pulses within you is not just personality, it is energetic heritage. It is spiritual lineage. You were sent to this world with a mu-specific idea, crossing what no one wants to see, feeling what no one has the courage to face, heal what others hide. And now the time has come for you to remember this with all the clarity your soul can bear. You are not ordinary. It never was. And every time he tried to convince himself of this, that's when he lost himself. Scorpio is a guardian, and guardians do not blend in with their surroundings. They stand out, they bother, they move, because they are there to protect something sacred. And what you protect, even if you don't yet know it in full words, is the passage between worlds. It is the path between darkness and consciousness. You are the presence that breaks veils, the voice that tears the silence, the look that reveals what was hidden. It's no coincidence that you feel so much. It is no coincidence that you isolate yourself to rebuild yourself in silence. It's no coincidence that you understand other people's pain before they can even speak. You were not trained to live on the surface. You were shaped to operate in depth, in silence, in vibration. While the world chases distractions, you catch the signs, observe the cycles, notice the invisible. This is a gift. This is responsibility. This is a sign that your sword has been activated. Yes, you carry an invisible sword, but it is not used to hurt. It is used to cut what is no longer useful. It serves to open paths in the consciousness of others. It serves to break old patterns, limiting ideas, inherited fears. And every time you speak the truth, even if trembling, that sword manifests. Every time you say no to what weakens you, it rises up. Every time you choose to stay true to your essence, even when it's difficult, it shines. This sword was forged in your pain, in your falls, in your rebirths, and now it's in your hands, ready to be used wisely, with purpose, with faith. Don't think that the universe made a mistake in choosing you. He knew you could do it, even when you doubted yourself, even when everyone around you didn't see your value, even when your light was off and no one reached out. The universe continued to believe, because his soul carried a seal, a calling, a mission, and she waited for the right time to reveal herself. And the right time is now. This video was not just content. It was a portal, a key, a mirror. You are not here just out of curiosity. You were attracted to something greater, something that vibrates within you, and that can only be understood in the silence of the soul. And if this content touched you, if you felt that each word was a memory and not just information, then it is because your essence is ready to be honored. And what happens now depends on your choice. Because every spiritual call needs a response. Every activation needs an action. Spirituality is offering you the chance to no longer abandon yourself, to no longer hide your light, to no longer live trying to be what they expect. You have already gone too far on this journey to now back down. The world needs your true presence, of your healing, from your vision. Accept your intensity, accept your depth, accept that you're not for everyone, and that's a blessing, not a curse. Accept that you are governed by forces that will not always be understood, but that will always protect you when you are aligned with your truth. Accept the pain that shaped you. Accept the strength that reborn you. Accept your nature as it is, without needing to apologize for feeling too much, for knowing too much, for being too much. And if something here inside you is saying, yes, this is me, then write now in the comments with all presence and firmness, I accept my essence. These words are not a simple comment. They are an energetic seal, a spiritual signature, a milestone on your path. And if you want to go even deeper on this journey, I invite you to also leave. I carry the sword, because you do. And now it has been activated. Leave a like if you felt this truth at any point during the video. This gesture, simple in form, is powerful in vibration. It helps this message reach other Scorpios, or people with strong Scorpio in their chart, who are also ready to remember. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now. What you've experienced so far is just the beginning. There are even deeper layers to be accessed, and you will want to be present at each one of them. In the next video, We will reveal the spiritual mission of Pisces, the last guardian, he who closes the cycle, who represents the return to the origin, who moves between all worlds with compassion and wisdom. And there is a hidden connection between Scorpio and Pisces that few know about, but which will be fundamental for your next step. So take a deep breath now, receive this activation with your heart, and write in the comments everything you want to release. One sentence, a rant, a commitment, because when you write, you anchor. When from what you declare, you transform. When you take a stand, the universe responds. Let's continue. Because the spiritual journey of the chosen one is just beginning. If you've stayed with me this far, it's because something inside you recognized this message. And that already says a lot about who you are and what is awakening inside. Now is the time to seal this meeting with a simple but powerful gesture. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content that speaks directly to your soul, without masks, without superficiality, just deep spiritual truths that you feel when you listen. If this video touched you, leave a like now. That button press isn't just a way to support the channel, it's an energetic confirmation that you're ready to live your mission. And if you made it to the end, comment below, "I remain awake," or "My soul recognized this truth." These phrases activate connections with other awakened people in the comments and show that you are not alone on this path. And now, before leaving, look at the left side of the screen. The next video is already waiting for you. It is a direct continuation of that journey. Watch now and deepen your awareness even further. You've come this far for a reason, and the next revelation will touch an even deeper part of your soul. See you there.